Hi again, everyone. In this tutorial, we're going to do another typography. We're going to try to take this image and recreate it for us here. That image is made with some Wordle type text, word cloud type text that you see right here. And it's been combined with this image right here to create the effect that you see right here. Some other possible effects. That you might see. Here's another example, just slightly different. So how do we go about creating this? So we start right here. First thing we need to do is create a threshold effect on President Obama. So I'm going to follow some of our earlier tutorials that we've looked at and go to colors and colorize. And I'm going to take my lightness down and take the saturation all the way up. So we'll go down to -40 on the lightness, 100 on the saturation. Before we finish that off, though, we want to duplicate. We want to keep a copy of the color version of President Obama. Okay. And let's cancel that off. Okay. So now we have our green version and our color version of President Obama. Next thing we want to do is use the quick mask tool and black on the layer. We're gonna on the quick mask. We're gonna add white onto the black mask, and I'm gonna do this fairly fast. In the interest of time, it won't look the best, but we'll get the idea. It's going to be a little rough around the edges. That's okay. You can take more time when you're working on this on your own. Get his chin right there. And the top of his head right there. If I really wanted to, I could swap that back to black. Reduce the size of my brush. And go back and clean up a little bit. So it doesn't look quite so much like a cartoon character. Okay, so we got a decent selection. It's not perfect. We're going to turn the quick mask off. That's going to give us a nice selection. And now we want to drop out the stars, the green stars, and the green on this side. So we're going to invert our selection. And we're going to convert this to a GIMP layer by adding a transparency layer and merging down. And then we're going to hit Command Cut or Control X, Control Command X, and cut. And what we're left with is right here. Now we're going to threshold. We're going to go back and invert our selection. Or we could just turn the selection off. And now we're going to do a threshold on President Obama. And we got a nice effect right there. It's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. We can play around with the level of the threshold depending on how you want it to look. Let's go right about there. And what we can do is clean this up manually. Say OK. Take brush with white and simply clean some of this up a little bit right there. bad. Okay, so we have our threshold version of President Obama. Now, we have some options. We could really quickly paste in our text and be done really fast, or we could spend a little bit of time and make nice selections. For example, I could come here and I could take my path tool and I could outline this area of President Obama's jacket. Play around with my curves. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. Let's curve there. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to make a selection from that path. Come up to our layer right here. I might just play with this a little bit. Make that selection from path again. Okay, so now we want to fill with words in this area right here. So what we're going to do is come right there and copy, Command C, Control C, copy. Come to this side, and in our paintbrush, we have the words. They're a little small right now. I'm going to make the words bigger. And come in, and now I can start on this top layer filling in with those words. Okay. Next thing I want to do is go back and grab my path. Turn that eye back on. And take my path to the other side of his jacket. And I want to provide a little separation here. So that we can see a little bit of detail in his jacket. Okay, make another selection. Get that brush again. And come in fill. Take that back out to 100, and you can see I'll turn my selection off. Select none. Turn that path eye off. And now we have a nice little bit of detail there on the jacket. You can kind of see how this would go on the other side. I can take fuzzy select tool and start adding in these black, and I'm on the add to current selection mode. So I could just get all of these areas here. Come back to my paintbrush. And fill once again. So you can quickly see this text effect, this typography effect on the shaded, dark shaded regions of the Obama threshold. We'll go back and make one more quick path. Close the circuit, Command, Control. Okay, make our selection. Go back to the layer where we want to paint. And paint in that selection. Select none. And I have a black and white typography of President Obama. If I want to give it some color, I can take this layer where the president is in black and white with the type, and I can go colors, color to alpha, and right now the color to alpha is set to black, so it will get rid of all the black so that you can still see the white text, but you'll be able to see the color from the photograph underneath. And there you have it. We're pretty close to what we had in the intro right here. That's how you do it with just a few little changes. Till next time.